Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the architecture of mutual gain. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you compromise, someone always walks away annoyed? Well, we're going to look at a fascinating framework that completely rewires how we handle conflict. We're uncovering the secret to making sure that you and the person you're disagreeing with never actually have to lose again.
So does every disagreement have a loser? I want you to take a second and think about your own default assumptions when you step into a negotiation or an argument. Most of us are totally conditioned to believe that conflict is just a giant game of tug of war, right? Like if I pull the rope towards me, you get dragged into the mud. We just assume there's got to be a winner and a loser. But as we're going to see today, that deeply ingrained idea is actually a massive psychological trap.
Section 1. The win-lose mindset.
Okay, let's talk about zero-sum battles. That's the academic term for this viewpoint where one person's success absolutely requires another person's failure. When people view disagreements through this zero-sum lens, they're operating under the assumption that the amount of winning out there is totally fixed. It's like if I get an inch, you lose an inch. And honestly, viewing the world this way completely ruins our ability to find any kind of harmony because it turns literally every interaction into a threat. You see this all the time. When we fight over something we think is limited, we usually end up just splitting it right down the middle to be fair. But what does a 50-50 split actually mean in practice? It usually means both people only get half of what they actually wanted. When we treat sharing as a race where someone wins and someone loses, even a perfectly even split feels like a failure, because someone is always missing out. We get hyper-focused on fighting over limited resources.
Section 2. A tale of two toys.
To bring this down to earth, our sources give us a great, super relatable case study involving two kids, Sam and Mia. Let's set the scene here. Sam and Mia are eyeing the exact same small play area. Sam wants the whole thing for his cars. Mia wants the exact same space for her dolls. It is your classic standoff. They're locked into this conflict over a shared, supposedly limited space. Now, Sam and Mia can go down one of two distinct paths here. On one hand, they could default to the competitive mindset, basically treating sharing like a win-lose race. If Sam claims the space, he wins, Mia loses. Boom. But on the other hand, they could shift into a collaborative mindset, which is a win-win negotiation. This approach is all about finding a mutually beneficial solution where everyone's happy. So the question is, how do they actually get to that collaborative mindset? The big shift happens during Sam's breakthrough moment. He realizes, and I quote, "If I use this corner for my garage and you use that corner for your dollhouse, we can both play at the same time." This right here is the ultimate eureka moment. By just rearranging their shared space to accommodate both of their toys, the entire nature of the conflict transforms. They aren't just stubbornly splitting the area in half and being miserable about it. They are creatively integrating their play.
Section 3. How to expand the pie.
What Sam did intuitively here is a core negotiation strategy known as expanding the pie. This means creating more value and accommodating needs rather than just fighting over limited resources. Instead of battling over the existing pie, like the abstract idea of who owns the whole space, they actually found a way to make the pie bigger. They realized the resource wasn't just the physical space, it was the ability to play simultaneously. By accommodating both of their needs, they generated more value out of the exact same physical area.
So instead of chopping a tiny pie in half, they restructured the whole situation. Now we basically have an expanded pie that accommodates both needs. Both kids get a full, satisfying slice. This is the perfect conceptual representation of increasing total value and satisfaction. They didn't just take a tiny pie and divide it up. They completely re-engineered the setup so that both of them get what they want out of a newly expanded whole. Everyone's needs are met, and they can both play at the exact same time.
Section 4. The architecture of mutual gain.
Zooming out from the kids' play area for a second, this simple little story forms the literal architecture of high-level mutual gain in all of our adult lives. Effective negotiation really focuses on the creative integration of different needs. True negotiation is not about begrudgingly compromising until everyone is equally miserable, which, let's be honest, is a trap we adults fall into with pretty much toddler-like stubbornness. It's about doing exactly what Sam and Mia did, creatively integrating those different needs so that all parties are actually satisfied. It takes real creativity, not just a willingness to wave a white flag. So how do we do this? Here are 3 actionable steps for your own daily conflicts. Step 1, you have to move away from a win-lose mindset. We got to stop seeing disagreements as these zero-sum battles where someone has to fail. Step 2, creatively integrate needs. Figure out what the other person actually wants, just like Mia wanting a spot for her dollhouse, and see how that can fit alongside your own goals. And finally, step 3. By doing this, you foster harmony and increase the total value for everyone involved. You abandon the fight over limited resources and you build a collaborative outcome instead. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. How can you expand the pie in your next disagreement? The next time you find yourself locked in a stubborn standoff, fighting over scraps, I want you to remember Sam and Mia. Stop racing to win while forcing someone else to lose. Apply the architecture of mutual gain instead. Find those corners, creatively integrate your needs, and expand the pie. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps you find that win-win in your next big negotiation.